And for the double blues, Wilmot kicking 3. Here are the highlights.
He doesn't get much distance with that. That'll have to be play on, which it is. Going through solitude was Reynolds. Ginniver snaps towards goal. That's not a bad effort. He's kicked his first. To be play on, which it is. Going through solitude was Reynolds. Ginniver snaps towards goal. That's not a bad effort. He's kicked his first.
Quick hands to Setri. Again to Smith. Smith gives it over to Williams. To Hines. Has a bit of time. Has a look. And kicks the Maggie second. There's the ball back towards half forward. Uses the wind well. Gets a lot of distance. Clean bowls everybody. Will it sit for Darren Smith? He can straighten up on his right leg. And he goes. No mistake from that player. That's the Maggie's fifth.
Leonard couldn't take it. Gets in there with a second. Whoa! Boyd off the... Not Boyd. Williams off the ground. And Whittlesey dropped a little bit of that. In fact, maybe just a bit more than a little bit.
Greg Phillips won't wait. He goes on to the big fella, Johnson. Great running by Whittlesey as he runs down Johnson.
His kick is out wide to Williams. Held his ground. Couldn't take it off. Brilliantly stolen by Radbone. He's an exciting prospect, this lad, as he places it out to Wilmot. And he takes a strong mark.
I think he pushes it in quickly. That's the way Hodges likes it. But it's Johnson there on this occasion. Yeah, bodies Leonard. He did that brilliantly. Kicks his first. Fiachi's handball to Phillips, not good, but Phillips up to it. Gets it around to Williams. Williams breaks through, goes towards goal. What a sensational kick and a great goal to Stephen Williams. There's a real opportunity for the double blues. Into space is Scott Russell. Plenty of time to settle. Goes to goal with his 13th kick. Kicks his first goal and the double blues 8. Phillips works hard. Tries to give the advantage to Smith, but Scott Russell gets it over to Whittlesey. He'll push it into the square. Dutton there. It's bounced through. Whittlesey's kicked his first. Oh, the double blues are on fire. Kim Russell fights hard. Gets it over to Hodges. The champion full forward battles hard. Oh, he's caught with the footy. He's got a free kick. And the crowd don't like it, least of all the man in your screen right now.
Sturt currently sitting in 9th position. Port Adelaide in 2nd. A good tackle by Setri. Now it ball comes out towards Hodges. He puts it up high. Doesn't get much distance with that. That'll have to be play on, which it is. Going through solitude was Reynolds. Ginniver snaps towards goal. That's not a bad effort. He's kicked his first and Port Adelaide second.
It was where a good rover should be. He was front of the pack. And he works very, very hard at getting in the correct position all the time, does young Tim Ginniver. And that's really the sort of goals on a day like today which are available when you scout the pack, particularly around centre-half forward. All you've got to really do is set the ball up. The wind will do the rest. And they put Adelaide away to a good start. They'd be budgeting for at least 5 or 6 goals in this first quarter, and they're well and truly on target.
Well, we all knew that Tim Ginniver could play football, but a lot of us didn't realise how talented he was as far as singing and playing the guitar is concerned. If you watched the Sunday Footy show last week, you would have found out he excels in both fields. The handball back towards Whittlesey, around his body. He's a strong player, Whittlesey. A little bit quieter this season. It goes out towards Walk. He's clever. He was held. And the umpire picked up that free kick. And Torrey Argent in the correct position. We'll go back to Walk. We'll see how this ball sits up in the breeze. He keeps it low. That's intelligent. Back there, the mark's been taken by Abernathy, though. Another player keen to impress. State squad member puts it out wide to Russell Johnston, the big chap. Oh, he's a favourite with the Magpie supporters. So too is Fiachi. Fiachi out towards Ginniver. The placement of that football is very good, and he finds big David Hines. Great use of the ball. Hines goes short. That's not. It's a classic misuse, that is, but Setri was equal to the occasion. Now he chops it in long. Hodges sets himself. So too does Lennon. Hodges front position. Couldn't take it. In there, he gets a second chance. Strong tackle by Kim Russell. Bruce Lennon picks up the crumbs, and the ball goes out towards Argus. Has time after a fumble. Draws the player, puts it over towards Peter Reid. Reid in turn with another wobbly kick. That's rather disconcerting, this breeze. It often affects the players as they drop the football. Around his body there was Rosonico. In over the top of that, it comes out towards Williams for his first touch of the game. Play on the call. Ginniver in there. So too Williams once more. And we'll have a bounce at centre-half forward, 7.5 minutes into this first term.
Umpire Graham Schultz in your screen, and with him Laurie Argent. It's a good bounce. Reynolds, left hand to it. Dutton working hard. Forward they go, the Blues. North East did that well. Well supported. Tregenza. High to half forward. Only one that decided to fly was Reynolds. He went backwards to Lennon. And Lennon had his kick marked by Dutton. So from half back. They really want to run the ball up. They're trying to do that. McGowan, he'll be closed on by David Brown. His kick to half forward walk. Now that little bump he gave on that occasion against him, Boyd, was no different to Lennon and Hodges. They've just got to be consistent, these two umpires. Good tackle, Delaney against Wilmot. Play-on's the call. Fiacci in there aggressively. And that's the difference with the two umpire system, that one umpire can choose a style of umpiring, particularly where body clashes are concerned, and the other umpire will be completely different. And of course, the on-ball players find it very, very difficult to adapt, because 1 minute they're with one umpire and one interpretation, and they've got to accept another minutes later. Painter closes on it, but not before the ball's out of bounds. And that's the first time it's been that far up the ground. We're in the forward pocket for the Double Blues.
And this start by Sturt's been reasonably solid when you consider the strength of this breeze, as Johnson snared that magnificently, but the kick wasn't that good. It went straight to Whittlesey. He goes across ground looking for Scott Field. The player out there, though, is Scott Russell as well. In there is Hutton. Oh, well done, Hutton. Had two players to beat and did it well. Out towards Rowan Smith. He's in being chased there by Peter Reid, and Reid did well to tap that ball over the boundary line. And David Hutton, one of the real gentlemen of football in South Australia. Real competitor on the field. You couldn't meet a nicer guy off the field. Smith to do the ruck work opposed to Leanett. In fact, Leanett went solo there and took it. Couldn't dispose of it all that effectively, though. And once more, we'll have a bounce. Approaching the 10-minute mark of this first term, Port Adelaide 2-2-14. Sturt are yet to score, and I think that's the wrong coloured beanie for this game. So, that man should be a little bit further south, perhaps down the bay. The handball from Smith out towards Williams. Williams direct towards goal. He gets great distance, but not accuracy, as the Magpies move on to 2-3-15. The Blues yet to get off the mark.
Powerful player, Williams. He gets his hand on the ball and goes to goal. Kicked the ball 50 metres on that occasion. Gary Argus from behind. Not paid. Timmy Ginniver. Quick hands to Setri. Again to Smith. Smith gives it over to Williams. To Hines. Has a bit of time. Has a look. And kicks the Maggies second.
Well, that was good play by Port Adelaide. Set up with some constructive handball. Then David Hines, his initial thought was to draw the player and put the ball over the top to Hodges, but Lennon wouldn't fall for that. So in the end, it was after Hines to kick around his body, and with his third kick, he posted his first goal and Port Adelaide's third. They're on 3-3-21. We've had nearly 11 minutes. Sturt still not on the board, but the next 10-15 minutes are pretty crucial, because it doesn't take long in these type of conditions for a side to kick a few quick goals.
Leanett got the ball down out of the centre. McGowan, his kick to half forward. Kitchke under a lot of pressure there, but it was Fiacci who did the spoiling. Kitchke gets it out to Painter. He's on his wrong foot, but he's well supported out there by Scott Russell. His kick towards the pocket, but ever reliable is Mr. Delaney. And, he might just have a big job to do on July 1 against Jason Dunstall or Tony Lockett. And it's general opinion that he'll probably be up to it. His kick back towards the centre of the ground is a little dangerous. Port players work hard, though. Tregenza gets it inside to Williams. Williams goes to Abernathy. Abernathy's first kick as he pushes him forward. Hodges out in front. He's well spoilt by Williams. Ginniver from behind has to just pick it up and kick a goal. That's his second. Then the Maggies look great as he pushes him forward. Hodges out in front. He's well spoilt by Williams. Ginniver from behind has to just pick it up and kick a goal. That's his second. Then the Maggies look great.
Well, we mentioned only moments ago how quickly that ball can go from one end of the ground to the other. And there's a breeze blowing like it is at the moment, and that's exactly what happened. It was the full forward in Hodges and Lennon went out. The ball went to the back of the pack. The first player there was Tim Ginniver. He perhaps was in two minds whether to sock it off the ground, but in the end he went down, grabbed it and banged it through for his second. And Port Adelaide starting to look fairly dangerous here on 4 goals, 3-27, and the Blues still not on the scoreboard.
An opportunist is Tim Ginniver. He's kicked 2 goals to date. One of the Maggie's best. David Brown couldn't get his boot to it. Reid works hard in there. Forward they go again, the Blues, sorry. Oti. under a lot of pressure. Northeast. There's the ball back towards half forward. Uses the wind well. Gets a lot of distance. Clean bowls everybody. Well, it's set for Darren Smith. He can straighten up on his right leg. And he goes. No mistake from that player. That's the Maggie Smith with his third kick on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Undecided which way to go. Delaney. Straight up the ground he decides to go. That's pretty courageous. Full Northeast doesn't let him down. Decides to play on. Beautifully smothered by Scott Russell. Painter there. Real opportunity now. He won't waste it. Pushes it back in high. Kitchke and Wilmot. Up goes the big fella. 2 grabs. Play on's the call. Right decision. Wilmot spins out of the pack. Turns it around for the Blues fifth.
Well, he called that well, Neville. It was the right decision. There were a few hands on that football. Kitchke tried to claim it. The call was play on. The ball came out towards Wilmot. And he banged through his second goal. And he's starting to show a little bit of form up there now. But, gee, to me, he's just not a fit player. He's certainly carrying a little bit of weight.
And the Port Adelaide players believe that was touched, and they're really having a shot at the goal umpire, so you can almost guarantee that that might have happened too, because players only ever respond when it does happen, but that's the luck of the game. If the umpires don't see it, it's all right. Reynolds pushes it down to Williams. Free kick. So the Blues well on target to pin back that first quarter lead of Port Adelaide's. Well, unforgivably kicks into the man on the mark. And that won't go anywhere as players desperate to hold it in. So they had an opportunity then to push themselves well forward. Reynolds just misjudging it. But that's the value of getting your ruckman to stand the mark, if you can afford to, through the centre of the ground. The big fella Hines. The handball isn't good to Phillips. Rowan Smith backs up and does that well. Tregenza going the wrong way, takes off. There's a good chest mark, puts it into Hodges. From behind, Brett Leanett. Tregenza again. A bit slow picking it up, but got it to Setri. Setri around the corner. If it sits for Brown, real opportunity for him. Odie with him. Gathered off the ground by Hodges is very clever football. And Hodges kicks his set.
A great presence of mind by Scott Hodges, but I thought the initial efforts of David Odie were very good. He didn't get drawn into applying the tackle on Brown as he was forcing his way towards the goal, but unfortunately he didn't have enough support, and it was Hodges, the man that managed to get boot the ball and post his second, and that's a pretty handy goal when you're kicking into a breeze like this. Port Adelaide 8-9, Sturt 5-3. We've had 16.5 minutes.
Well, Port Adelaide reserve players or interchange players warming up, which might mean that Jack Hale's thinking about making a change or two. Hutton. Out of the centre of the ground. Only 4 kicks, Hutton, but a great mark at centre-half forward by Abernathy. He pushes it in quickly. That's the way Hodges likes it. And it's Johnson there on this occasion. Now body's leaning. He did that brilliantly. He kicks his first, and a great goal into the win by Port Adelaide.
Well, just when the signs were looking fairly useful for Sturt, Port Adelaide fight back in typical style. The first goal by Hodges, then moving the ball in very quickly to the forward lines, and it was Russell Johnston with his superior body strength who outmanoeuvred his opponent, took the mark, then he played on into the open goal and banged through his first, and that gives Port Adelaide a little bit of breathing space here at Football Park. A 30-point advantage, 63 points to 33 at the 17-minute mark.
So Cale has set up a loose man in defence, and they're still kicking goals while they're doing that. So it means they'd be 1 short in their forward line. Probably a forward pocket. Forward they go, through young Radbone. High, Wilmot's the target. From behind, Delaney. And they really had the advantage from there as that ball carried forward. And there the ball goes out of bounds. There he is, the reliable Port Adelaide fullback, Roger Delaney. With very, very good hands. He's a very cool player, and he wears full forwards like a skin, and he's got unusually long arms, and that always gives him the advantage when the ball comes in high. And Jakovic played on him last Monday, and I felt that it was really only the last quarter that Jakovic really woke up to him and started to run at the ball and draw the footy. One-on-one with a high ball, he's very hard to beat. Odie to Argis is good play, but it's even better by Williams. He did that beautifully, good tough play. He sends it forward. Painter from behind. Classic punch. The crummer was Odie. It's gone through to Hines, to Smith. They'll keep it on this boundary. You can bet your bottom dollar on that as they go back to Hines. They keep possession of it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's okay. Good play by the Magpie defence. Nothing wrong with that. People will not have thought they were overusing the ball, but I can tell you it's out of bounds, and that's exactly where they planned it to be.
Peter Litchfield, the boundary umpire, throws in the ball. Hines with superior strength. Did well to get that down to Ginniver. Radbone couldn't take that. Took a specky about 5 minutes ago on that grandstand wing. That's umpire Graham Schutz, the bounce. With a new breed of umpires introduced this year. And the ruck work to be done between Kitsky and Hines. Ball comes down to Scott Field. He couldn't control it. They take two. It'll be Schutz once more. Approaching the 20-minute mark of this second term. 33 plays 63. And two very timely goals by Port Adelaide when Sturt were looking quite threatening with this breeze. They've steadied the ship somewhat. Well, Kitsky had his jumper nearly pulled off him, and the umpire didn't see it, and Hines has come up with the football. Hits it out towards Hutton. Hutton around his body, receives a solid bump. It was fair, though. Oh, Hodges nearly stole that. Setri was tackled. It goes back towards Brown. Oh, great vision. He held back on that kick to get it out to Darren Smith. That was super play by Brown. The ball's put in towards Johnston. Couldn't take that one. McGowan chips in to steal the ball. Can't take it with him, though. Good tackle applied to Tregenza. Ball goes back to the boundary line, and McGowan takes that over the line, but possibly should have taken it in the first opportunity, and perhaps then the Blues would have been out of trouble.
Hutton was provided some space there for Smith, and I was disappointed that he didn't get the ball across to him, but nonetheless, it's what you see and what don't you see. It's very easy from up here. Our vision of the game is quite a helicopter view. A lot different when you're out there. Bounce down 10 metres from the Magpie goals. Reynolds gets a tap. Field works hard. Setri has him. Ball's locked in. Players fight hard. 20 minutes gone. 30 points the difference. The Magpies hanging on to that lead they established in the first quarter as Brown comes back to Abernathy, but he is offline. So 9-10, 64. Port Adelaide, they lead Sturt 5-3, 33. 21 minutes gone, second quarter.
Richter to bring the ball back into play. His boot went nearly as far as the football, and the football's gone straight to Greg Phillips, but he pushed Kitsky in the back, just nudged him out, so the free kick will go back to Damien Kitsky. And 15 metres as well, as Bruce Abernathy kicked that ball over the head of Kitsky. As the offender, Greg Phillips, he bolts off to pick up another man as Kitsky. It's right behind that one, puts it out well to Argus. That was a magnificently positioned kick, and Gary Argus now has an opportunity from about 50 metres out, but with the breeze right behind him. He normally does kick a long way. Kick number 4. The left footer puts it on its way. The umpire hardly moves at all, and Sturt have kicked their 6. They're on 6-3, Port Adelaide 9-10.
Well, that was good methodical football. Kitsky did well to get up the ground there and edge his way in for a free kick. The offender was Greg Phillips. I'm not that happy about that. But the kick to Argus was, as Kim Dillon called it, a beautiful kick, running the wrong way, running into space. And he had the presence of mind not to play on, but to sit and have a set shot. And he brought up Sturt's 6th goal.
At the 22-minute mark, the Blues have to do a bit more. Leonard won the tap and went down to Benson, who gave it back to Leonard. His kick is very high. The big chap Wilmot sets himself. Back there was Delaney, and there's his buddy Fiarchi. They're never far away from each other, those two. And the handball from Hutton. He attempted to get it to Boyd, couldn't do so. Rowan Smith down there in defence. You don't see him there too often. The free kick's been picked out and will go the way of Peter Reid. Now, Reid can kick a long way. It's a pretty tight and difficult angle here. The right-hand side of Football Park at the southern end. Rowan Smith standing the mark. Starts it out to the left. That's a magnificent kick. He's kicked it. Fantastic goal by Peter Reid with his 4th kick.
What's the matter, mate?
That table's broke.
10 kicks. Harrison, loose kick forward. Lennon comes out to meet the ball. backs his judgment, does it well. Pushes it back towards the centre of the ground. Benson completes the mark on this occasion. Dropped quite a few easy marks in the third quarter. I'm sure Rick Davies had a word to him about that. Damien Kitschke should probably try two hands. And so many times he goes to the ball with one hand. And I think if I was Rick Davies, I might put Kitschke back at full forward this quarter. I think he should be able to run the ball over half forward. As the Maggies go forward again. Whittlesey. With him, Hodges and Setri. Whittlesey dragged to the ground, no free kick. Well, field it is. And again he's held. Around the corner comes McGowan. He uses his pace. Does it well. To half forward. Argus can't quite complete it. Through strongly was Boyd. Went without the footy. Painter will use it. There's a real opportunity for the double Blues. Into space is Scott Russell. Plenty of time to settle. Goes to goal with his 13th kick. Kicks his first goal and the double Blues 8.
Well, a much-needed goal by Sturt. It's taken them 5 minutes to post their first one in this final term with the aid of this strong breeze, and it was brilliantly set up by John Painter, who truly has got great vision. He put it out wide in front of the running player, Scott Russell, who steadied himself and put that through the middle. 8-5 plays 12-22.
Five minutes gone. Final quarter. And the breeze still a real advantage for the double Blues. And the real question is, can they kick enough goals? Johnson in ruck against Leonard. Even result there. Rowan Smith caught with it. Filled quick hands to Scott Russell. Kitschke punches it forward. And he's interfered with Darren Smith. And the Sturt supporters don't like it. Tregenza now, far side of the ground. He has Williams into space. McPhee will close on him. Over the top of the ball. And all McPhee had to do there was grab his jumper, and that would have been holding the ball.
By Graham Schultz having a little chat to Williams. I don't think Stephen really had any grounds for complaint there. Game was allowed to flow on as Whittlesey gets it out towards Painter coming into the game in this final term. His kick is good and it finds the waiting arms of Wilmot. Now they desperately need him to kick this goal. He'll be kicking from about 40 metres out. The scoreline currently reads 53-94. Wilmot has two. Picked them both in the second quarter. Apart from that, Roger Delaney has been well and truly on top. So the big man needs to perform. It's his third kick. And it's offline. So he's managed 2-1 with those three kicks. 54 plays 94. And the Pies lead by 40 points at the 7-minute mark of this final term.
Now the goals that full forwards need to kick, particularly in this sort of pressure. The rain comes down, and blue supporter there brings out the brolly. Argus over the top of the ball, and umpire Schutz comes in to bounce. Despite the wind, it's been a reasonable day. The ground's in magnificent condition. Certainly pretty cold, and the wind favouring the golf course or southern end. Dutton brings the ball out, chips it around to centre half or to full forward, fills the crummer. Fiachi catches him. Phillips to Fiachi. Good cool play by the back pocket player as he chips short to Johnson. And the Port Adelaide captain puts his boot into it and goes towards the wing. There's a fine mark taken by Darren Smith. Plenty of skill there.
Pick number 11 for Darren Smith. He's a much improved player. He certainly is a focal point for this Port Adelaide side. Harrison with his great pace soccers that off the ground. It goes out towards Hodges. He's had his work cut out opposed to Lennon this afternoon. Eventually that ball goes out of play. Recently added to the state squad was Scott Hodges. And there's a happy little Port Adelaide supporter. And why not? A happy magpie. Darren Smith out to David Hines. Hitting back there is Kim Russell. If it sits nicely for him, he should be the first one there. He decides to take that over the line. 95 plays 54. We're 9 minutes into this final term. And if the Blues are to have any chance at all, Neville, they'd really have to start doing something about now.
I agree with that. They need a goal, and they need it very quickly. Radbone looks for the holding the ball decision. That won't be. Ginniver taps it out. Gives it to Hutton. Rowan Smith. Something's going to happen when Rowan Smith gets near the ball. Scott Russell works hard. With him, Hutton. A good defensive play by both sides to hold the ball in there. Half-forward line for the Maggies. 54 plays 95. 10 minutes gone. Final quarter. Scott Russell on your screen. Laurie Argent to do the bouncing. David Hines gets a hand to it. Reynolds takes it out of ruck. Painter gets a right foot to it. Whittlesey in front is a good mark. He goes on with it very quickly. Whittlesey out of the gate. Looks for Wilmot on a lead. Well done, Delaney. He got there. Beautifully done from Benson to Field. He'll be looking for Dutton. Can't quite take it. Keeps his feet. Opportunity for the double Blues. He gets around. Did that beautifully. Dutton opens up the goal face and gets the double Blues ninth on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Well, we saw Shane Radbone in a magnificent solo effort earlier in the game, and that was equal to that, or if not better. He had no other option than to do it all by himself, and he showed great evasive skills to get away from Greg Boyd, and then another Port Adelaide defender, and kept his calm and banged that through the middle for his first goal. And Sturt move on to 9-6, trailing Port Adelaide 12-23. 35 points. They need 6 goals. They'll kick one at the 3-minute and one at the 10-minute. There's another 20 minutes of play. They have to kick one every 3 or 4 minutes. So pressure right on the double Blues. Stephen Williams against Painter. Benson has a bit of time. Has a look. Chips short and finds John Painter. 21 kicks Painter. He puts it in high. They need a big fella to take a mark here. Phillips. But it's Wilmot, wins out against Delaney, and he hasn't done that much today. Only kicked 2, the big fella. Kitschke was there as well, but Phillips had taken him out of the play with good body work. It was Wilmot who found front position. This one from a similar position a bit further out just a minute ago. They really need this goal. And their full forward doesn't let him down. It's his third, and the Blues kick their 10th. Port Adelaide will respond. You can bet on that. Whittlesey, arm pin, still manages to get the ball out. Kitschke to Painter. You always count on John Painter to come good when the odds are down. Argus. It's been paid. Zonico's not happy about it, nor Port Adelaide supporters. And he certainly had as much of it as anybody else. Maybe a bit fortunate to get it, but as we recall, Hodges was fortunate to get one in the first quarter too. 50 metres out, sets it on its way. This is his 12th kick. Well, the double Blues are well on target for their 11th goal on 9's Wide World of Sports. Well, a few quick goals have certainly turned this game around a little bit, and I mentioned earlier in the game that Port Adelaide may rue the fact that they've kicked so inaccurately. They've managed 23 points and only 12 goals, and now at the 13-minute mark, about the halfway mark of this final term, Sturt are fighting back. They're on 11-6-72. Port Adelaide 12-23-95. The mark perhaps a little dubious, but there was no question about the kick.
Setri fighting hard. Radbone gives it to Painter. There he is again. The champion player, John Painter. Kitschke high, can't take it. Phillips works hard. Tries to give the advantage to Smith, but Scott Russell gets it over to Whittlesey. He'll push it into the square. Dutton there. It's bounced through. Whittlesey's kicked his first. Oh, the double Blues are on fire.
On fire? There's no question of that. 3 very quick goals, and kick number 13 for Greg Whittlesey. I can assure you he wasn't intending to kick a goal then. He wanted to get it in long to the head of the square. The ball carried the pack. It bounced truly. Whittlesey bangs through his second goal, and all of a sudden this match is alive here at Football Park. 78 plays 95. The Blues are kicking with about a 5-goal breeze, and we've only had 14 minutes of this final term.
4 goals in exactly 4 minutes, and I said they had to kick 6, one every 3 minutes. So if they keep this up, they'll win by 5. Rowan Smith has got other ideas about that as he sends the Magpies forward. Kim Russell in the way. Radbone, it gets past him. John Painter, again another touch. Kim Russell caught with the ball. The crowd come alive. Paul Northeast caught with the footy. Painter asked for holding the ball. Laurie Argent won't be a part of it. Radbone wants holding the ball too. And we've got a game on our hands at Footy Park at the 14-minute mark. Only 17 points in it. 3 goals. McPhee. Ginniver is good play. He gets it over to Abernathy. He went without the footy. Good desperate play by the Blues as they hold it in. 17 points. And from a deficit of 37, 47 points at three-quarter time. They've done very well to get back this close. Brett Lena gets his hand to it. McGowan caught with it. Tregenza cleverly off the ground. Hodges in front, the place to be. Kim Russell fights hard. Gets it over to Hodges. The champion full forward battles hard. Oh, he's caught with the footy. He's got a free kick. And the crowd don't like it, least of all the man in your screen right now. So Laurie Argent was very close to the play, and I'm sure it was there. Hodges. This will be his 8th kick. He has 3, 1 in each quarter. He has 4, 1 in each quarter on Nine's Wide Water Sports.
Well, he was retarded, Neville. It was definitely there. Wasn't the most blatant free kick I've ever seen, but when a footballer hasn't got the football, you shouldn't grab them, and Sturt have paid the penalty for that, with Hodges kicking his 4th goal. And I can tell you the Port players and John Cahill would be quite relieved with that, because Sturt are mounting a challenge, and that gives them a little bit more breathing space, the Magpies. 78 points, plays 101 at the 16-minute mark of this final quarter, and it is getting very dark here at Football Park.
Plenty of action here at Footy Park. Can the Double Blues get back? Walk prepares to come back on the ground. Davies is going to make a change. Enid gives them the advantage. Grandstand wing. Radbone cleverly gets around Hutton, puts it in long. Wilmot's his target. Works hard. Oh, got it straight back out to Rosonico. Rosonico's kick towards the wing is just inches inside the line, or centimetres. As Peter Reid comes off the ground, and David Walk replaces him.
Well, Walk's normally pretty handy around the goals, but he's gone into defence as that ball's tapped back. Taken by Rowan Smith. Cleverly tapped out to David Hutton. He can't control it. Players jump on top of him, and umpire Laurie Argent has no alternative but to bounce here on the grandstand wing. And it is getting very dark here. I can assure you it's a lot darker than what it appears to be on your screen. As Argent puts the ball to ground. Johnston in there. Big fist away. Argus couldn't take it. Harrison gets a kick away. Tregenza opposed to McGowan, and McGowan takes a good mark. Strong mark. Kick number 16. 78. Plays 101. 23-point advantage to the Pies. Kitski getting involved in a body contest out there. He really should keep his eyes on the football, because he's a beautiful mark. As Darren Smith couldn't control it. The ball comes loose to ground. Picked up by Setri. Not sure which way to go. The handball goes out towards Rowan Smith. He kicks to the open spaces. This allows Tregenza to use his pace. He picks it up on the second grab. Holds back on that pass. Looking for Hodges. He takes a strong mark. Only about half a metre in front of Bruce Lennon. He kicked the last one for Port. Now, Port Adelaide managed to do this in the second term when they were kicking into the breeze. They managed 2 goals, which really steadied the ship for them. If Hodges could kick this one, it'd have the same effect. Kick 1 in every quarter. He hasn't had it easy this afternoon. He's a powerful kick, but that one is offline. Port Adelaide move on to 13 goals, 24 points. The Sturt 12-6.
There's more than twice the number of scoring shots. And, Port Adelaide have responded to Sturt's challenge. And, Sturt really have to come back if they've got any intentions of making a game of it from here. Radbone got it across to Scott Russell. They send it in. Painter from behind goes to punch. There's no crummers. Wilmot was there, but Fiacci did well to get that up to David Hines. Delaney runs up the ground, gives it to Ginniver. Kitski puts him down, but not before he gets it over to Rowan Smith. Rowan Smith's kick in, and the Hodges again. What a good player Hodges is. He goes in towards the forward pocket looking for Williams. Setri does the throw. He goes towards goal, and the Magpies sew it up. They certainly did sew it up, and there's the scoreboard. Final scores: Port Adelaide 15 goals, 25, 115. Defeated Sturt 12-9, 81. And on top they were. And goals, the main goal scorers for the Magpies: Hodges kicked 6, Ginnivan and Darren Smith 2 each. And for the